Hello, everybody. This is where our audience can learn from our mistakes. We call it Kryptonite Blooper. And because I'm a high A and E, I always go first. My my blooper today, Will, is oh so recent. So no one gets up earlier than you, but I get up pretty early. And one of the first things I do is I
Text you.
check for emails from you because that's when you have a chance to get back to me.
Mhm.
And there's usually a couple. It's no big deal. This morning, there was a bit of an avalanche because we are quite busy doing our workshops and everything else. And yet, this was a morning where I had a social event and then was wall to wall. And I literally have spent my whole morning feeling FOMA and feeling like I've letting the process down because I have not responded to some of the things in like my usual 10-minute SLA. So one of the things I'm working on is letting myself off the hook a little bit because as soon as I see something's due from me or an outreach is necessary, this little mental clock is going off in my head. And I lose my presence and I lose what I'm supposed to be doing. And all I can think of is I got to get that response out. That's my little dopamine. So I'm many trips around the sun, and I'm still working on that. What do you got?
Well, I'm going to comment on that real quick. Because you will apologize really unnecessarily at times when the delivery is not meeting your own expectations. I am fully confident that you will get to it when you have the time. So I'm not breaking a sweat. And meanwhile, over there, you got a headband that's soaked and you're covered in it. So
Yeah,
great blooper.
yeah.
Mine would be today. One of my strengths is supposed to be detail delegation, and I'm in the midst right now of cleaning up a mess where some details were delegated and work was left to one of my partners to handle, and it was not handled in the right way. So my blooper for this week has been I have tried to own all the details and have reacted in the opposite way, and hyper focusing on delivery and not trusting because I got stung.
Ouch. Yep.
Danny.
Yep. So for me, I'm gonna go back 30 years ago or so because I think this has been like just this. It's been on reverb ripple effect for years. Back in the day, I worked for a company that had the collegiate license for University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. These were Dean Smith days. 1993 was the year, so exactly 30 years ago, almost to the day. Carolina won a national championship, and of course, I worked for this screen printing, embroidery, promotional products company, and we had the opportunity to sell a lot of merchandise, make all of our money like in a month for the entire year. Unfortunately, I had sold some Duke Sucks t-shirts, and we had lost our license. So we were unable to print any of the Carolina national championship shirts. All the media was calling us. Everybody was calling us trying to buy merch. We couldn't sell anything. But what I did do was this. The day that it happened, Dean Smith walked into the locker room, and the team was jumping all over the place, the Astrodome in the locker room and going crazy. But Dean walked in quietly, solemnly, walked through all the mayhem. All the guys kind of got real quiet. Dean walks over to the blackboard. He picks up a piece of chalk and he writes, "No practice tomorrow." And he puts the chalk down. Everybody jumps up and goes crazy again and jumps all over and pours champagne. So I thought the next day when I read that in the paper, because there was no internet then, I saw this "no practice tomorrow." So I went out and got 500 t-shirts, white shirts, Carolina blue ink. I put Carolina blue ink. It said "no practice tomorrow" on the shirts. We ran down to Franklin Street, and I was just quick and moving. We sold all the shirts out in a couple hours. Awesome. Made a bunch of money, ran another batch. And then my friend called me and told me that we spelled tomorrow wrong. Moving too fast, baby.
That's exactly what I would do. Brother, I love that.
Lord.
Yeah, got to slow down. Got to slow down.
Where'd you go to college?
UNC Chapel Hill.
Go Heels.
You got the education you paid for. For that. I'm going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, we're both going to get in trouble.
Have a good week, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks, Danny.
thank you.
Will, I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.